what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and broadcast the assignment that's posted on Google Classroom to you guys. Okay. If you want to pull yours up too, you can. It doesn't matter because I'm showing you what I gave you already. And then after we go over that part and I make sure there's no questions, I'm going to have you create your document and help you set it up. Okay. So I need to come over here and I lied. I need to present. Nice, Keegan. A tab. And I'm going to present that tab. Okay, so I'm going to assume everybody can see my tab that says Revolution Paper Rough Draft. It's going to need to be 2 pages, double spaced, size 12 times New Roman font. And that's what I'm going to help you set up here in a minute, which basically means instead of writing a 2-page paper, you're really writing a 1-page paper because it's double spaced. Okay. It says follow the attached guidelines for your paper. So this part here is basically a writing prompt, just like you've done on iStep and iLearn. Okay. You must include biography information on your person. That's going to be the majority of your note cards. Okay. They were about your person. Their contribution to the revolution. That means what they did in the revolution. Now, one of the things that I noticed a lot of cards was that people wrote, you know, this person had 2 brothers. They were born on this date. They had 3 sisters. They married Martha. They had 5 kids. They lived here. They lived there. They didn't put a lot about what was going on in the revolution with that person. So if you didn't find anything, you're going to need to go back and find it because we need to know how they contributed to the revolution. The other thing is you need to make sure you understand is when we talk about the American Revolution, we're not just talking about the war. It was the whole run-up before when King George was doing all the mean and nasty stuff he was doing to the colonists. That's what started all this. So make sure you're thinking that too, not just that time period when we were actually fighting. Okay. So far, so good. Okay. The next part is how their contribution affected the revolution. Now, this one is not going to be in your cards. You're going to have to think, you know, those inference things you've done in language arts and reading. You're going to have to infer. How did what they did up here affect the revolution? You know, did it win an important battle? Did it make everything happen? Did it cause, you know, somebody to lose because they got caught spying or something? And you need to make sure you're using evidence of that. So think about what they did. You give your opinion. This is how their contribution affected it. But then you support your opinion with evidence that you gathered up here. Okay. Any questions on that part of it at this point? All right. Finally, the last part says how the revolution would have been different without their contribution. So if your person had not have done whatever you said they did here, how would the revolution have been different? Would it not have happened at all? Would Britain have won? Or, you know, would it have been over quicker? Would we have lost less men? You know, you've got to decide. Again, that's called all inference. You have to think about what they did, how it affected it, but then how would things have been different, okay? And when all is said and done, you should have at least a 2-page paper, like I said, and we're going to go over setting that up in a minute. Are there any questions on the prompt, what you're writing right now? Now's the time to ask. Don't wait till you have it done and then ask. Okay, couple thoughts. Don't start your paper with, hi, my name is, and I'm going to tell you about George Washington. I'll hand it back and say, fix it. Don't start your paper with, I'm going to tell you about. Okay, you guys have been taught how to write introductions. You introduce your topic, not yourself. Okay, what you need, Kyson?
Back from the library on its own. With like the rough draft, and like when you say that, with the Constitution, like if they what happened, like what they did,
right?
what? So like, what if they didn't do anything?
They all did. So they all had some sort of effect on the revolution. When I created this list that you guys blind drew from, I did it with Mrs. Lochner. Okay, so everybody in some way supported or had an effect on the revolution. Okay, it may have been small, but it somehow affected it. That's the important thing, and you've got to figure that out. So you've got to think. Good question. Anybody else have any questions about this? Okay, now we're going to go in and set up your paper. So you're going to have to work between tabs because we need to keep this one open so you can hear me talking. So open a new tab and go on into Google Classroom and into the Revolution Paper Rough Draft Assignment. Okay, and I'm going to stop sharing that tab, and I'm going to set up a doc so I can walk you through it and you can see it if you need to. Okay, so there's that. I'm going to present tab untitled. Okay, so you guys are going to, like I said, you need to be flipping between the Meet tab so you can see what I'm doing and your assignment tab. Now, on your assignment tab, you need to go ahead and go up and click Add or Create and create a new document, okay? And once you've got it done, give me a thumbs up so I know you got it. So what you should be looking at is what I'm looking at on my Meet. If you look at my shared screen, it's a blank document, and up here it'll have the assignment name and your name. Okay, does everybody have their doc created?
No, yet.
You got to go through the assignment. You have to go in and click View Assignment to do that. Okay, are we good? And I said I
have it created. It's just being really laggy.
Okay, I'm going to record this, so even if you can't end up getting it done right now, you can go back and watch the video, okay? Mm-hmm. Good, Isaiah?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so kick over to the Meet tab so you can see my doc, okay? So what you're going to do, first thing is you're going to come over here. Let me zoom this in so you can see it a little bit better. You're going to look for a button that has 3 lines and an up and down arrow and says line spacing. And you're going to click on it and you're going to double. Okay? Mm-hmm. Click, it's going to change and it won't look like anything happened, but it did. Click on line spacing, the up and down arrow with the 3, and go to double.
It's being incredibly laggy.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and keep going, and then we get done, I'll walk back through, okay? After you do that, then you're going to need to come up to your font, and yours will say Arial. Okay, yours, I guarantee you, will say Arial. This is where you start for yours. You need to click on that and go all the way down to the bottom to Times New Roman and click that to change the font.
To what?
Times New Roman. They're
Times New Roman?
Yep, they're alphabetical, so you're going to have to go all the way to the bottom. Okay. All the way down. Then finally, right next to that is your font size. Yours should have come in at 11 because that's the default. You're going to click the plus and you're going to change it to 12. Okay. So now you are working double spaced, size 12, Times New Roman font.
I didn't find a Times New Roman. I found a Times.
There should be one towards down the bottom. It says Times New Roman. And what we can do, if you can't find it, is go with what you think is closest. And then when you get back in class, we can change it. Okay? We can change the whole.
I think you just scroll down all the way, and it's the third.
It's way down, like third up from the bottom. Yeah. Okay. Now, couple thoughts about typing. Number one, you need to make sure as you're writing your paper that you indent paragraphs. That's the tab key. Okay. An indent is 5 spaces, but tab does it automatically. You only indent the beginning of a paragraph. Okay. You need to make sure you're putting capital letters for all of your proper nouns, people, battles, forts. The American Revolution is actually a proper noun, but if you just refer to the revolution, it's not. Okay. You need to make sure you're putting punctuation at the end. If you hand me a 2-page paper that's one big giant sentence because you didn't put punctuation in, I absolutely will give it back and tell you to fix it before I have to read it. Because remember, I've got to read almost 100 of these. I don't want to be reading one paper with one big giant long sentence. That's like painful. When you write, you don't hit enter at the end of each sentence. You just keep writing and the text will auto wrap to the next sentence. Once you're done with the paragraph, you guys know how to do paragraphs. You know, you're stopping that thought and kind of going to a new one. You're going to hit a period or, exclamation point or whatever. Then you hit enter and then you'll indent for your new paragraphs. Now, I think that Chrome may automatically indent for you. And if it does, then don't worry about hitting tab because I don't want you to indent twice. If you do, I'm going to make you fix it. All right? McKenna, you got a question?
Can we put like titles and like headings and stuff?
No, I don't want titles because we are going to do a title page and you don't need headings. We're not doing a heading for this type of paper, okay?
Okay.
Your grade for this is 100-point grade. It's 25 points basically for each half page because it's 2 pages. So that means if you get a full page and a half of a second page, you get a 75 out of 100, okay? You've got to have a full half page to get the credit for it. You can't type 2 lines and then assume I'm going to give you credit because that's not the way it works. And again, it's due 3 weeks from today. I will tell you now, I had people in class yesterday that, they sat and worked. I went over it just like I did with you, about the same amount of time. And they sat and worked, for 20, 25, 30 minutes. And they were actually able to get a full page done that first day. Okay. So you don't have a lot of other stuff to do today and you get on it. You might very well be able to get most of it done today. Because remember, next week we're not in school because it's Thanksgiving. So that's why I said, talk to your teacher if you need to and see if you can take your Chromebook home if you think you're going to need the time. And then the third week, just hold on, the third week, which is the calendar, 2nd of December, that's when it will be due at the end of class. So you'll have a whole class period then to work on it too. Okay, question?
I have a question.
Yep.
So this recording will be posted on Google Classroom.
Yep. When I get done, I'm going to post the recording of this meeting for you guys. So if you need it, you can always go back to it and find it.
I have a question.
Okay.
Yep.
So, like, I don't get, like, what you're, like, supposed to do. Like, so you're supposed to write 2 pages on the Google Docs.
Right.
And, like, with, like, everything else, like, it's confusing, kind of.
This is what your paper's on right here. These things. About your person, what they did for the revolution, how what they did affected the revolution because it had an effect in some way, and how the revolution would have been different if they wouldn't have done it.
Okay.
That's your writing prompt. Okay. Okay, any other questions?
Where's the video?
I haven't posted it yet because it's the meet. I'm recording our meeting right now, and then I'll post it because it's got the video, the directions and how to set up the doc and everything. Okay, if you have any other questions, once we're done, you can just email me, okay? And yes, you can absolutely split screen to see your slides and your paper at the same time, okay?
How
And
do you do it again?
Yeah.
on a Chromebook, it's Alt and the bracket key up above the Enter key. Your Alt key and those two bracket keys up there, left, right. Now, let me show you guys something real quick, because one of the things that we ran into was the slides being too small to read when people were trying to split screen. So let me show you this. I'm going to go ahead and see if I can split mine. So hang on a second, and I will set mine up for you, okay? So I'm going to do this. I'm going to split screen for you guys. Yeah, I need it. And I'm going to show you how to fix your slides so you can see it better, okay? Bring that. So now,
Daniel, mute.
that. I don't even know whose that is. Okay. I grabbed somebody's slides. I don't even know who they belong to. So now let me set this up. Okay, now, hang on. So I got to go back and I'm going to present my screen. Let's see. Okay. So I want to present a window. And nope, I don't want to present a window. I want to present a screen, an entire screen. Okay. That. Now you're looking at yourselves right now, right? Okay. Now, can you guys see my split screen? Unmic and tell me yes or no.
Yes.
Okay, you can see my split screen. Now, you see what I'm talking about over here on the slides as far as these being so small to read, okay? Here's a way to fix that. You're going to come up here to present, click on that little drop down, not on that button, but on the drop down, and you want to go to presenter view. Click on that, and you can minimize this, and it will make your slides bigger so you can see what
I did it.
you wrote. Okay, and then all you got to do to go to the next slide is click it or use your arrow keys. Okay, so to do that again, you're going to come up to present, click the little arrow, go to presenter view, and you can close. Like I said, you can minimize this or close it, and it'll keep that up. That way, you can go through your slides and be able to see to write at the same time. Okay. That will make life a lot easier. Or if you have another device, a second device, you could pull up your slides on that and type on your Chromebook or vice versa. Okay. Any other questions over what I've gone over today? Yes, sir.
Like once we're done writing everything, like at the end, could we like make a paragraph to like give credit to all the sources?
Nope. When we get done, you're going to create a works cited page, and that's where that'll be. Okay. That's
Oh,
the
okay.
last thing we'll do. You will do one, yes. Okay. Any other? And again, remember, no titles, no headings. The very last thing we do, well, actually, it's not technically the last thing. What's going to happen is the week your paper is due, the next week after that is when we're going to do the title page and the works cited. And if you got all your sources, it should take you no more than 10 minutes to do that because they have it fixed now so we can create the easy works cited. And then you will start
Yes.
updating your rough draft to your final copy. Okay. Any other questions about your page?
No deal. No deal. No
Remember,
deal.
you can't copy and paste. It's got to be in your own words. If you use something directly out of it, it's got to be quoted. And don't quote the whole paper, or I'm going to hand it to you and say, fix it and redo it. I had somebody that did that on several of their notes.
I'm gonna show you.
Okay. Are we good, guys?
Yes.
Okay. Like I said, when we're done here, I will post this video. And I will also, like I said, respond to any emails if you have any questions.
Okay.
Okay? Awesome. I will see you guys. Well, I'll technically see you tomorrow probably, but
Yay.
if you have any questions, email me. Okie doke.
Okay.
Awesome. Have a good day.
You
You
too.
too. I like chicken nuggets.
Hi.